You want to see
Mario Uno. Oh, you guys are fine. What I do is I actually like combine my reading with whatever's going on in the house.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just like my normal life, but I'm going to read a book too. Yeah, I don't usually have anybody really watch. I have like one or two people, but they watch it afterward, and then I like go on and I make highlights to keep the book there, and that way people can read it later.
Back to me.
Did you ever watch the Running Man movie?
I don't. So.
It's got Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. It's a game show, and basically he ends up on this game show fighting for his life.
Oh.
And it's all contained in one area, like it's in a certain spot. They don't run around anywhere else. Well, in the book, they actually run for 30 days.
Oh my gosh.
And if they can survive the 30 days, they get $1 billion. If not, they die. Yeah, we got 49.
Yeah.
We got like 100 pages to go. We're good.
You can't call it. That's a phone.
Oh, if you don't call Uno, you got to pick up cards.
Oh, sorry.
I like that. Oh, sorry. Are you gonna pick up cards, or did you say Uno?
Not yet.
Nick, can I have that bottle beside you, please?
What?
That bottle. Over by her drink. Look over by the bag on the table. Do you see the medicine bottle?
Yeah.
Let me have it. It's empty, so I want to throw it out. Okay, I see. Okay.
No.
All right, so we are at minus 4049 and counting. And remember, the last time we left off, unfortunately, the mother of the man that was supposed to be helping him called the cops. So now he's running. Their shadows chased them down the hill toward the park, waxing and waning as they approached and passed each of the mesh-enclosed GA street lamps. Everything is made by General Atomics. Alton Pericus breathed like a locomotive in huge and windy gasps and hisses. They crossed the street, and suddenly headlights picked them out on the far sidewalk in hard relief. Blue flashing lights blazed on as the police car came to a screeching, jamming halt 100 yards away. Richards! Ben Richards! Gigantic, megaphone booming voice. Your car, up ahead, see? Elton panted. Richards could just make the car out. Elton had parked it well, under a corpse of run-to-seed birch trees near the pond. The cruiser suddenly screamed into life again, rear tires bounding, hot rubber on the pavement and lines of acceleration. Its gas-powered engine wailing and climbing revelations. It slammed up over the curb, headlights skyrocketing, and came down, pointing directly at them. Richards turned toward it, suddenly feeling very cool. Feeling almost numb. He dragged Bradley's pistol out of his pocket, still backing up. The rest of the cops weren't in sight. Just this one. The car screamed at them across the October bare ground of the park. Self-sealing rear tires digging out great clods of ripped black earth. He squeezed off 2 shots at the windshield. It starred, but did not shatter. He leaped aside at the last second and rolled, dry grass against his face. Up on his knees, he fired twice more at the back of the car, and then it came around in a hard, slewing power turn, blue lights turning the night into a crazy, shadow-leaping nightmare. The cruiser was between him and the car, but Elton had leaped the other way and was now working frantically to remove his electrical device from the car door. Someone was halfway out of the passenger side of the police car, which was on its way again. The thick, shattering sound filled the dark. Stun gun. Bullets dug through the turf around him in a senseless pattern. Dirt struck his cheek, pattered against his forehead. Yeah, I kind of mess up when I'm reading. Do you want to put the gate up so they go down below?
Yeah.
Okay. If you put the gate up, you can kind of chase them downstairs. But make sure you close the outside door so they can't come back in.
That I do.
It's nice out. They can stay out for a while. It's just the two of them. Let's see if he gets it. If not, I can go do it. I'm waiting to see. Because I'm listening. Okay, he shut the door. If he can get them down, then all they'll bark at us. Like, we have a deer that comes up. We have a tree right at the corner of the far right of the fence. And it comes right up and eats those leaves and then just stares at them. It'll turn around, stare at them as it walks away, eating tree leaves and grass as it goes. We have a groundhog. I think we have a snake out back too somewhere. But yeah, the deer come up. We have them up in those woods by Greendale. All those woods up through here. The deer will come through those woods, down across Washington, down through the neighborhood, across state, and down through our houses and go. Yeah, it's really awesome to see. What is he doing? Oh, and we have all kinds of puzzles, all kinds of games. He likes doing puzzles too. Did you get it?
Yeah.
They both down?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, buddy. You gonna sit? You're like, oh crap, I gotta go around. He knelt as if praying and fired again into the windshield. This time, the bullet punched a hole through the glass. The car was on top of him. He sprang to the left, and the reinforced steel bumper struck his left foot, snapping his ankle and sending him sprawling on his face. The cruiser's engine rose to a supercharged scream, digging through another power turn. Now the headlights were on him again, turning everything stark monochrome. Richard tried to get up, but his broken ankle wouldn't support him.
Mom, can I watch about on TV? If it's okay with...
If you guys want to do a half an hour of TV? He likes watching. He watches, what's his name? Henry Danger. He watches Flash. Flash is his favorite.
Yeah, like it had zoom.
He's been watching every episode as it comes on. He loves it. Sobbing in great gasps of air, he watched the police car loom again. Everything became highlighted, surreal. He was living in an adrenaline delirium, and everything seemed slow, deliberate, orchestrated. The approaching police car was like a huge, blind buffalo. The stun gun rattled again, and this time the bullet punched through his left arm, knocking him sideways. The heavy car tried to veer and get him. For a moment, he had a clear shot at the figure behind the wheel. He fired once, and the windshield blew inward. The car screamed to a slow, digging, sideways roll, then went up and over, crashing down on the roof, and then onto its side. The motor stalled. And in sudden, shocking silence, the police radio crackled clearly. Richard still could not get to his feet, and so he began to crawl towards the car. Pericus was in it now, trying to start it, but in his blind panic, he must have forgotten to lever the safety vents open. Each time he turned the key, there was only a hollow, coughing boom of the air in the chambers. I'm trying to make sure I don't hit my desk has these legs, and if you hit the legs, the desk falls. So I'm trying to make sure I don't hit it. The night began to fill up with converging sirens. He was still 50 yards from the car when Elton realized what was wrong, yanked down the vent lever. The next time he turned the key, the engine chopped erratically into life, and the air car swept towards Richards. He got to a half-standing position and toward the passenger door open and fell inside. Pericus banked left onto Route 77, which intersected State Street above the park. That is hilarious. Because we have those kind of streets and they actually meet. That is funny. And instead of a park, it's a cemetery. This is great. The lower deck of the car, no more than an inch from the paving, almost low enough to drag and spill them. Elton gulped in huge swatches of air, let them out with force enough to flap his lips like window blinds. That is funny. 2 more police cars screamed around the corner behind them. The blue lights flashed on, and they gave chase. "We're not fast enough," Elton screamed. "We're not fast." "They're on wheels," Richard yelled back, cut through the vacant lot. The air car banked left, and they slammed upward violently as they crossed the curb. The battering air pressure shoved them into drive. The police cars swelled behind them, and then they were shooting. Richard's heard steel fingers punching the holes in the body of the car. The rear window blew in with a tremendous crash, and they were sprinkled with fragments of safety glass. Screaming, Elton whipped the air car left and right. One of the police cars, doing 60 plus, lost it coming up over the curb. The car veered wildly. Revolving blue dome lights split in the darkness with lunatic bolts of light, and then it crashed over on its side, digging a hot groove through the littered moraine of the empty lot. Until a spark struck its peeled back gas tank. It exploded whitely, like a road flare. Ooh, the car blew up. The second car was following the road again, but Elton beat them. They had cut the cruiser off, but it would gain back the long distance very shortly. The gas-driven ground cars were nearly 3 times faster than air drive. But if an air car tried to go too far off the road, the uneven surface beneath the thrusters would flip the car over, as Pericus had nearly flipped them crossing the curb. Excuse me. "Turn right," Richards cried. Pericus pulled them around in another grinding, stomach-lurching turn. They were on Route 1. Ahead, Richards could see that they would soon be forced up the entranceway to the coast turnpike. No evasive action would be possible there. Only death would be possible there. Turn off! God damn it, that alley!" For a moment, the police car was 1 turn behind them, lost from view. No! Pericus was gibbering now. "We'll be like rats in a trap." Richards leaned over, hauled the wheel around, knocking Elton's hand from the throttle with the same gesture. The air car skidded around to a nearly 90-degree turn. They bounced off the concrete of the building on the left of the alley's mouth, sending them in at a crooked angle. The blunt nose of the car struck a pile of heaped trash, garbage cans, and splintered crates. Behind these, solid brick. Richards was pitched violently into the dashboard as they crashed, and his nose broke with a sudden snap, gushing blood with violent force. The air car lay askew in the alley, one cylinder still coughing a little. Pericus was a silent lump lolling over the steering wheel. There was no time for him yet. Richard slammed his shoulder against the crumpled passenger door. It popped open, and he hopped on one leg to the mouth of the alley. He reloaded his gun from the crumpled box of shells Bradley had supplied him with. They were greasy cool to the touch. He dropped some of them around his feet. His arm began to throb like an ulcerated tooth, making him feel sick and nauseated with pain. Headlights turned the deserted city expressway from the night to sunless day. The cruiser skidded around the turn, rear tires fighting for traction, sending up the fragrant smell of seared rubber. Looping black marks scored the expansion joint macadam in parabolus. Blah, 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 blah. Looping black marks scored the expansion joint, macadam and parabolus. Then it was a heaping forward again. Richards held the gun in both hands, leaning against the building to his left. In the moment, they would realize they could see no taillights again ahead. The cop riding shotgun would see the alley. No. Snuffling blood through his broken nose, he began to fire. The range was nearly point blank, and at this distance, the high-powered slugs slammed through the bulletproof glass as if it had been paper. Each coil of the heavy pistol pulsed through his wounded arm, making him scream. The car roared up over the curb, flew a short, wingless distance, and crashed into the blank brick wall across the street. Echo Freebie Repair. A faded sign on the wall read, "Because you watch it, we won't botch it." The police car, still a foot above the ground, met the brick wall at high speed and exploded. But others were coming. Always others. Panting, Richards made his way back to the air car. His good leg was very tired. "I'm hurt," Pericus was groaning hollowly. "I'm hurt
Oh,
so bad. Where's my mama?" Richards fell to his knees, wriggled under the air car to his back, and began to pull trash and debris from the air chambers like a madman. Blood ran down his cheeks from his ruptured nose and pooled behind his ears. What? Sterling Star 2003? Sterling like sterling silver, all lowercase, and then a star, and then 2003. I always put some kind of symbol. Welcome. Minus 048 and counting. The car would only run on 5 of its 6 cylinders, and it would go no faster than 40, leaning drunkenly to one side. Pericus directed him from the passenger seat where Richards had manhandled him. The steering column had gone into his abdomen like a rail spike, and Richards thought he was dying. The blood on the dented steering wheel was warm and sticky on Richards' palms. "I'm very sorry," Pericus said. "Turn left here. It's really my fault. I should have known better. She doesn't think straight. She doesn't." He coughed up a glut of black blood and spat it listlessly onto his lap. The sirens filled the night, but they were far behind and off to the west. They had gone out Marginal Way, and from there Pericus had directed him onto the back roads. Now they were on Route 9 going north, and the Portland suburbs were petering out into October barren scrub countryside. The strip lumbers had been through like locusts, and the end result was a bewildering tangle of second growth and marsh. "Do you know where you're telling me to go?" Richards asked. He was a huge brand of pain from one end to the other. He was quite sure his ankle was broken. There was no doubt at all about his nose. His breath came through it in flattened gasps. "To a place I know," Elton Pericus said, and coughed up more blood. "She used to tell me a boy's best friend is his mom. Can you believe that? I used to believe it. Will they hurt her? Take her to jail?" "No," Richard said shortly, not knowing if they would or not. It was 20 minutes of 8. He and Elton had left the blue door at 10 minutes past 7. It seemed as if decades had passed. A far distance off, more sirens were joining in the general chorus. The unspoken is in pursuit of the incredible, Richards thought disjointedly. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. He had dispatched 2 police cars single-handedly. Another bonus for Sheila, blood money, and Kathy. Would Kathy sicken and die on milk paid for with bounty cash? "How are you, my darlings? I love you. Here on this twisting, crazy back road, fit only for deer jackers and couples looking for a good makeout spot. I love you and wish that your dreams be sweet. I wish." "Turn left," Elton croaked. Richard swung left up the smooth, tarred road that cut through a tangle of denuded sumac and elm, pine, and spruce. Scrubby nightmare second growth. A river, ripe and sulphurous with industrial waste, smote his nose. Low-hanging branches scraped the roof of the car like skeleton screeches. They passed a sign which read, "Super Pine Tree Mall, under construction, keep out, trespassers will be prosecuted." They topped a final rise, and there was Super Pine Tree Mall. Work must have stopped at least 2 years ago, Richards thought, and things hadn't been too advanced when it did. The place was a maze, a rat warren of half-built stores and shops, discarded lengths of pipe, piles of cinder block and boards, shacks and rusted Quonset huts, all overgrown with scrubby junipers and laurels and witchgrass and blue spruce, blueberry and blackthorn, devil's grass, or devil's paintbrush, and denuded goldenrod. I'll have to look that up. I don't know what that is. And it stretched on for miles. Gaping oblong foundation holes, like graves dug for Roman gods. Rusted skeleton steel. Cement walls with steel core rods protruding like shadowy cryptograms. Bulldozed oblongs that were to be parking lots now grassed over. Somewhere overhead an owl flew on stiff and noiseless wings, hunting. "Help me," into the driver's seat. "You're in no condition to drive," Richard said, pushing hard on his door to open it. "It's the least I can do," Elton Perkins said with grave and bloody absurdity. "I'll play hare. Drive as long as I can." "No," Richard said. "Let me go," he screamed at Richards. His fat baby face, terrible and grotesque. "I'm dying, and you just better let me go." He trailed off his hideous silent coughs that brought up fresh gouts of blood. It smelled very moist in the car, like a slaughterhouse. "Help me," he whispered. "I'm too fat to do it by myself. Oh, God, please do help me do this." Richards helped him. He pushed and heaved, and his hands slipped and squelched in Elton's blood. The front seat was an abattoir, and Elton, who would have thought anyone would have so much blood in him, continued to bleed. Then he was wedged behind the wheel, and the air car was rising jaggedly and turning. The brake lights blinked on and off, on and off. The car bunted at trees lightly before Elton found the road out. Richards thought he would hear the crash, but there was none. The erratic thumpa of the air cylinders grew fainter, beating in the deadly one-cylinder flat rhythm that would burn out the others in an hour or so. The sound faded. Then there was no sound at all, but the faraway buzz of a plane. Richards realized belatedly that he had left the crutches he had purchased for disguise purposes in the back of the car. The constellations whirled indifferently overhead. He could see his breath in small, frozen puffs. It was colder tonight. He turned from the road and plunged into the jungle of the construction site. Minus 047 and counting. He spied a pile of cast-off insulation lying in the bottom of a cellar hole and climbed down, using the protruding core rods for handholds. He found a stick and pounded the insulation to scare out the rats. He was rewarded with nothing but a thick, fibrous dust that made him sneeze and yelp with a pain burst in his badly used nose. No rats. All the rats were in the city. He uttered a harsh bray of laughter that sounded jagged and splintered in the big dark. He wrapped himself in strips of insulation until he looked like a human igloo. But it was warm. He leaned back against the wall and fell into a half-doze. When he rose fully, a late moon, no more than a cold scrap of light, hung over the eastern horizon. He was still alone. There were no sirens. It must have been 3 o'clock. His arm throbbed uneasily, but the flow of blood had stopped on its own. He saw this after pulling his arm out of the insulation and brushing the fibers gently away from the clot. The Sten gun bullet had apparently ripped a fairly large triangular hunk of meat from the side of his arm just above the elbow. He supposed he was lucky that the bullet hadn't smashed the bone, but his ankle throbbed like a steady, deep ache. The foot itself felt strange and ethereal, barely attached. He supposed the break should be splinted. Supposing he dozed again. When he woke, his head was clearer. The moon had risen halfway up in the sky, but there was still no sign of dawn, true or false. He was forgetting something. It came to him in a nasty, jolting realization. He had to mail 2 tape clips before noon if they were to get to the games building by the 6:30 airtime. That meant traveling or defaulting the money. But Bradley was on the run, or captured, and Elton Perkis had never given him the Cleveland name, and his ankle was broken. Something large. A deer? Weren't they extinct in the east? Suddenly crashed through the underbrush off to the right, making him jump. Insulation slid off him like snakes, and he pulled it back around himself miserably, snuffling through his broken nose. He was a city dweller, sitting in a deserted development, gone back to the wild in the middle of nowhere. The night suddenly seemed alive and malevolent, frightening of its own self, full of crazed bumps and creaks. Richards breathed through his mouth, considering his options and their consequences. Do nothing. Just sit here and wait for things to cool off. Consequence? The money he was piling up, $100 an hour, would be cut off at 6 tonight. He would be running for free, and the hunt wouldn't stop, not even if he managed to avoid them for the whole 30 days. The hunt would continue until he carried off on the board. He was carried off on a board. 2. Mail the clips to Boston. It couldn't hurt Bradley or the family because their cover was already blown. Consequences. The tapes would undoubtedly be sent to Harding by the hunters watching Bradley's mail. But, 2. They would still be able to trace him directly to wherever he mailed the tapes from, with no intervening Boston postmark. 3. Mail tapes directly to Games Building in Harding. Consequences? The hunt would go on, but he would probably be recognized in any town big enough to command a mailbox. They were all lousy choices. Thank you, Mrs. Perkis. Thank you. He got up, brushing the insulation away, and tossed the useless head bandage on top of it. As an afterthought, he buried it in the insulation. Why would he bury it in the insulation? I have no idea. He began hunting around. What? Yeah. Sleep well? He began hunting around for something to use as a crutch. The irony of leaving real crutches in the car struck him again. And when he found a board that reached approximately to armpit height, he threw it over the lip of the cellar foundation and began to climb laboriously back up the core rods. When he got to the top, sweating and shivering simultaneously, he realized that he could use his hands. The first faint gray light of dawn had begun to probe the darkness. Go have fun, Nick. I'll see you in a bit. He looked longingly at the deserted development, thinking, it would have made such a fine hiding place. No good. He wasn't supposed to be a hiding man. He was a running man. Wasn't that what kept the ratings up? A cloudy, cataract-like ground mist was creeping slowly through the denuded trees. Richards paused to get his directions. See you later! Richards paused to get his directions and then struck off toward the woods that bordered the abandoned supermall on the north. He paused only once to wrap his coat around the top of his crutch and then continued. Minus 046 and counting. It had been full daylight for 2 hours, and Richards had almost convinced himself that he was going around in large circles when he heard, through the rank bramblings and ground brushes up ahead, the whine of air cars. He pushed on cautiously and then peered out of a 2-lane macadam highway. Cars rushed to and fro with fair regularity. About a half a mile up, Richards could make out a cluster of houses in what was either an air station or an old general store with pumps in front. He pushed on, paralleling the highway, falling over occasionally. His face and hands were a needlepoint of blood from briars and brambles, and his clothes were studded with brown sticker balls. Oh, I hate those things. We get them here. We just call them briar bush prickers. I don't know. They're round. They got spikes everywhere. He had given up trying to brush them away. Burst milkweed pods floated lightly from both shoulders, making him look as if he had been in a pillow fight. He was wet from top to toe. He had made it through the first 2 brooks, but in the third, his crutch had slipped on the treacherous bottom and had fallen headlong. What's up? You want to come sit and say hi? You sure? They might like you. Yeah, he's like. Reminds me of Final Destination when they're in the tanning beds. And then they die in a fire. Anyway, I won't tell you which one. His crutch had slipped on a treacherous bottom and he had fallen headlong. The camera, of course, was undamaged. It was waterproof and shockproof, of course. The bushes and trees were thinning. Richards got down on his hands and knees and crawled. When he had gone as far as he thought he safely could, he studied the situation. He was on a slight rise of land. Bless you! A peninsula of a scrubby, second-growth weeds he had been walking through. Below him was a highway, a number of ranch-style houses, and a store with air pumps. A car was in there now, being attended to, while the driver, a man in a suede windbreaker, chatted with the air jockey. Beside the store, along with 3 or 4 gumball machines and a Mary Jane vendor, stood a blue and red mailbox. It was only 200 yards away. Looking at it, Richards realized bitterly that if he arrived before first light, he could have probably done his business unseen. Well, spilt milk and all that, the best laid plans for mice and men. He withdrew until he could set up his camera and do his taping without being seen. Hello, all you wonderful people out there in Freevee land, he began. This is jovial Ben Richards, taking you on my annual nature hike. If you look closely, you will see the fearless scarlet tanager, or a great speckled cowbird, perhaps even a yellow-bellied pig bird or 2, he paused. They may let that part through, but not the rest. If you're deaf and read lips, remember what I'm saying. Tell a neighbor or a friend. Spread the word. The network is poisoning the air you breathe and denying you cheap protection because he recorded 2 tapes and put them in his pants pocket. Okay, what's next? The only possible way to do this is to go down with the gun drawn, deposit the tapes, and run. He could steal a car. It wasn't as if they weren't going to know where he was anyway. Randomly, he wondered how far Pericus had gotten before they cut him down. He had the gun out and in his fist, when he heard the voice, startling close, seemingly in his left ear. Come on, Rolf.
Shit.
What's up, baby?
Dogs are outside.
Yeah?
Training.
Wait, what? Well, shit, I didn't know that. At least it's not pouring. I didn't even know it was supposed to rain. We're going to pause there. I'm going to see what this rain's going to do. And yes, she's going to come barrel. I'm going to push the chair over. She's going to come barreling down, I'm telling you. Yep. We're going to open the weather map. Take a second here. Hello, my dear. Oh, I got bracelets now. All right. So, let's see what this weather's doing. X off the ad. Oh, it's going to rain all day. Oh. Hi, babes. Come here. We're going to pause for a minute. Come here. Phoebe. Phoebe. Come here. Come here. Hi. Come here. She's like all excited. Like, dang. Oh, they're going to get into it. Oh, it's coming down. No wonder. We might see some thunder today. Ooh, I think we will. My favorite kind of storms are like thunder and lightning storms. Hi. How are you? Harley. Come here. Come here. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Oh, you just got to nail mama, huh? Well, we need to put something on these corners, like some kind of soft rubber or something, so that they hit their head. They don't get hurt. She keeps hitting this corner right here. And I'm afraid she's going to hurt herself. Like, I watched her one day, thought she was going to get her eyeball. So,
You know those foam covers for piping?
yeah. I didn't think of that.
Or unless we can find somebody who has holes in those.
Yeah. Can we make the thing out of them? Like, put it over? We should do that to all four corners. I thought about moving my desk a little bit. Instead of facing like this way.
Figure out something so where it doesn't. If it gets bumped, it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to figure that out yet. I mean, they're not tight, but they're not like loose, so it works out. Yeah. Are you drying dishes?
I needed a cup.
Oh.
Everything's in the dishwasher.
Okay, so if you're needing a cup to drink, why are you drying the inside?
I don't know.
I've always wondered that. Like, if anybody dries a cup, why do you dry the inside when you're just going to put more liquid in it? This is my day. This is my day. This is my day. This is my day. My day is weird today. I can't get... There we go. Ba, 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 ba. I'm weird today. I've been... Yesterday, woke up a little after 6. 6:30. Today, wake up a little after 6. Quarter after. Seriously? It's just driving me nuts. Ooh, my eyeball. Phoebe! Phoebe! Come here! Hi, baby! Hi! What are you doing? What you doing? Don't leave Mama alone. Leave Mama alone. Did you tell Daddy what we did yesterday? Say we used peanut butter and treats. Well, Harley got the peanut butter. Phoebe got the treats. And then Harley got treats too. But we trimmed nails out. We trimmed dew claws on both of them. And then Harley had one nail. I do them quicker than Belle does. And so I did Harley's, and they were like trying to distract her with peanut butter. We had peanut butter all over her face. Yeah. But it worked. She doesn't like getting her nails done. We did have to finally put the muzzle on her for her one toe. But the other two, we just snap, and she didn't even realize it. But Belle did Phoebe's. So the dew claws are cut down. But because they run so much out back, they're doing their own, like, that's how they, rub their toes. So they didn't have too long of toenails. So, they did good. But yeah, Tristan had to help us with Harley. She's such a big girl. Hey, are you going to bring me that rope? We're going to pause real quick. Phoebe, give me the rope. Phoebe, give me the rope. Nope, going after Dad and Mama. Are you going after Mama? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, they're going to play. Hi, how are you? How are you? This is Mama. Don't hit your head on that. You're going to hit your eyeball. Yes, you are. Come here. Yes, you baby. He's my big girl. Actually, she's my husband's dog. But I'm the mama. She is the mama to Phoebe, who is the 1-year-old who's always up in my face. No, it is not for you. I know it is. I think there's only one left in there. Yeah. Oh, you've got buddies. You have buddies.
No, you got buddies.
Oh, I do. Sit. 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 Nope, you have to sit. You have to sit. No, you don't get to chew it. Hey, I got treats. Look at her. Wait. Wait. Easy. Hey, that's my finger. No, wait. Wait. Easy. Wait. 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 Hey. Easy. Hey, easy. Nope, easy. Easy. Good girl. That's much better. Ready? There you go. Gonna try again? You go easy. Wait. Easy. Good girl. I don't know if I can get this. Is there another bag of treats in there? There we go. Is there another bag of treats in there? I know there's a bag. I want to give Timber one. All done. She's like, but I want it. You had your food. Oh, Harley needs fed. She wasn't even trying to eat my fingers. But Phoebe ate. No, what do you got now? Oh, look at him. He's like, yes, I got some. He's like, I'm good. She gonna eat? Nika sometimes eats treats, and most of the time she just kind of sleeps. All right, give them to me. I give them each one. No, you, nope, no. This is Phoebe. Hi, Phoebe. Hi, Phoebe. Get down. Down. I'll give you one when you get down. Look, my hand's in it. What are you going to do? You got to get down. Get down. Get down. 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 Good girl.
Another one for Timber.
Here. Take that. Oh, wait. I got the garbage. Okay. One for Timber. Phoebe. Stay. Wait. Wait. You eat a piece. Eat a piece off. Come here. Eat a piece off. There you go. Wait. Wait. Patient. Wait. Easy. Good girl. She gets so excited and she snaps. And then if I tell her easy, she tries to do it a little easier. Oh, my nose is just all done. It's all gone. You ate them all. That is just what do you call it? The silicone pack. You don't need the silicone pack in my garbage. Ugh. I have to have a garbage can when I do my beads and stuff. I think I might do a kick live and do some beading, but today is not the day. Today, ow, I have something in my pocket. Poke me. Today I have a lot to do. I have a meeting at 2. I have to leave around 1:15 so that I can go up and get my son's vitals. So we're going to read until probably another half an hour. All right, ready? There was a sudden volley of barks that made Richards jump violently, and he had just in time to think, police dogs, Christ, they've got police dogs, when something huge and black broke cover and arrowed at him. The gun was knocked onto the brush, and Richards was on his back. The dog was on top of him, a big German shepherd with a generous streak of mongrel lap in his face and drooling on his shirt. Excuse you? Give that, bring it here. Give it, no, go get it and bring it here. Phoebe, give it back. Phoebe? Phoebe. Oh my God, dog. Really?
I got it.
You're bad. Okay, that should help my shoulder. What is in my pocket? I don't even know. Okay, it's back. She somehow got a can. And I think it might have been my oldest son's chicken noodle soup can. And she carried it all the way in here into the dining room. She does. She'll find something and then she'll go carry it off. And a lot of times she'll bring it right back. I'm going to have to tape that again. She'll bring it right back. But sometimes she doesn't. And I have to go chase after it. Give me a second. I want to tape this real quick. Yeah, I taped my other book up too. But these are really old and very, very, very used. So when it comes to taping them, I just want to make sure that they're taped decently so that they don't get ruined anymore. My oldest son likes Stephen King too, so he has books as well. Sometimes I have doubles or even triples. I have a triple of a couple of them, Dreamcatcher and The Cell. I'm going to read The Cell after I read Regulators. But, there we go. That'll keep that back on. Yeah, we love reading. I took years off of reading, and all I read was like, every now and then I'd read something. I'd read articles online, read stories online, but I wasn't really reading books. I read the Bible. I read the Bible front to back, and reading it front to back was a little eye-opening. Telling you, you'd be amazed if you actually pay attention to what it says. Yeah, this tape's almost dead. I keep tape for my business. All right, let's see what we got here. Woo, hold on. Let me text something real quick. Do 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 do. If not, it's fine. I just figured it out. Oh wow, no, that works too. All right. So, a big German shepherd with a generous streak of mongrel lapping his face and drooling on his shirt, his tail flagged back and forth in vigorous semaphores of joy. Rolf! Hey, Rolf! Rolf! Oh, God! Richards caught an obscure glimpse of running legs and blue jeans, and then a small boy was dragging the dog away. Geez, I'm sorry, mister. Geez, don't bite. He don't bite. He's too dumb to bite. He's just friendly. He ain't... God, aren't you a mess? You get lost? The boy was holding Rolf by the collar and staring at Richards with frank interest. He was a good-looking boy, well-made, perhaps 11, and there was none of the pale and patched inner-city look on his face. There was something suspicious and alien in his features, yet familiar also. After a moment, Richards placed it. It was innocence. Yes, he said dryly, I got lost. Gee, you sure must have fallen around some. That I did, pal. You want to take a close look at my face and see if it's scratched up very badly? I can't see it, you know. The boy leaned forward obediently and scanned Richard's face. No sign of recognition flickered there. Richards was satisfied. It's all Burcott, the boy said. There was a delicate New England twang in his voice. Not exactly down east, but lightly springy, sardonic. But you'll live, his brow furrowed. You escaped from Thomaston? I know you ain't from Pineland because you don't look like a retard. I'm not escaped from anywhere, Richard said, wondering if that was a lie or the truth. I was hitchhiking. Bad habit, pal. You never do it, do you? No way, the boy said earnestly. That's crazy dudes running the roads these days. That's what my dad says. He's right, Richard said. But I just had to get to, he snapped his fingers in a pantomime of it just slipped my mind. Like, Jetport. You must mean Voigt Field. That's it. Geez, that's over 100 miles from here, mister, in Derry. I know, Richard said ruefully, and ran a hand over Rolf's fur. The dog rolled over obligingly and played dead. Richards fought an urge to utter a morbid chuckle. I picked up a ride at the New Hampshire border with these 3 maggots. Real tough guys. They beat me up, stole my wallet, and dumped me at some deserted shopping center. Yeah, I know that place. Cripes, you want to come down to the house and have some breakfast? I'd like to, bucko, but time's a-wasting. I have to get to that Jetport by tonight. You gonna hitch another lift? The boy's eyes were round. Got to, Richard started to get up, and then settled back as if a great idea had struck him. Listen, do me a favor. I forgot to plug my earbuds in. They're gonna die on me. So, we're going to just put them in here to charge. My son got me these earphones. They're cordless. and which is nice. All I got to do is throw them in this case, charge them up. It's so nice. No wires. And it's quiet right now, so I don't have to worry about noise. Listen, do me a favor. I guess so, the boy said cautiously. Richard took out the exposed tape clips. These are charge plate cash vouchers, he said glibly. If you drop them in a mailbox for me, my company will have a lump of cash waiting for me in Derry, and then I'll be on my merry way. Even without an address? These go direct, Richard said. Sure, okay. There's a mailbox down at Gerald's store. He got up, his inexperienced face unable to disguise the fact that he thought Richard's was lying in his teeth. Come on, Ralph. He let the boy get 15 feet and then said, No, come here again. The boy turned and came back with his feet dragging. There was dread on his face. Of course, there was enough holes in Richard's story to drive a truck through. I've got to tell you everything, I guess, Richard said. I'm telling you the truth about most of it, pal. But I didn't want to risk the chance that you might blab. The morning October sun was wonderfully warm on his back and neck, and he wished he could stay on the hill all day and sleep sweetly in fall's fugitive warmth. He pulled the gun from where it had fallen and let it lie loosely on the grass. The boy's eyes went wide. Yeah, I gotta relax my back a little bit. You can see all my craziness over here. These are my unicorns and my writing stuff and like pencils and stuff and my cloth. Well, actually it's a blanket towel and curtain. And then over here I have Bibles back there and this is more unicorn stuff. Yeah, it's a crazy mess. Oh yeah, there's that thunder. That is so awesome. The morning October sun was wonderfully warm on his back and neck, and he wished he could stay on the hill all day and sleep sweetly in fall's fugitive warmth. He pulled the gun from where it had fallen and let it lie loosely on the grass. The boy's eyes went wide. Government, Richard said quietly. Jesus, the boy whispered. Rolf sat beside him, his pink tongue lolling rackishly from the side of his mouth. I'm after some pretty hard guys, kid. You can see they worked me pretty well. These clips you got there have got to get through. I'll mail them, the boy said breathlessly. Geez, wait till I tell. There goes the leg. Nobody, Richard said. Tell nobody for 24 hours. There might be reprisals, he added ominously. So until tomorrow this time, you never saw me, understood? Yeah, sure. Then get on it, and thanks, pal. He held out his hand, and the boy shook it awfully. Richards watched them trot down the hill, the boy in the red plaid shirt, with his dog crashing joyfully through the goldenrod beside him. Why can't my Kathy have something like that? His face twisted in a terrifying and wholly unconscious grimace of rage and hate, and he might have cursed God himself if a better target had not imposed itself on the dark screen of his mind, the Games Federation, and behind that, like the shadow of a darker God, the network. Come here, up. Hi, baby. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you checking stuff out? Oh, go get Mama. Let's see. He watched until he saw the boy, made tiny with his distance, drop the tapes into the mailbox. Then he got up stiffly, propped his crutch under him, and crashed back into the brush, angling toward the road. The jetport then, and maybe someone else would pay some dues before it was all over. 045 and counting. He had seen an intersection a mile back, and Richards left the woods there. Marking his way awkwardly down the gravel bank between the woods and the road, he sat there like a man who had given up trying to hook a ride and had decided to enjoy the warm autumn sun instead. He let the first two cars go by. Both of them held two men, and he figured the odds were too high. Then, when the third one approached the stop sign, he got up. The closely ill feeling was back. The whole area had to be hot, no matter how far Pericus had gotten. The next car would be police, and that would be the ball game. It was a woman in a car, and she was alone. She would not look at him. Hitchhikers were distasteful and thus to be ignored. He ripped the passenger door open and was in even as the car was accelerating again. He was picked up and thrown sideways, one hand holding desperately onto the door jamb, his good foot dragging. Yes.
I know you're currently on your live
Yeah,
stream, but
what's up?
there's something that Dad wants your help with. Like, even if like you're on the phone with him, I guess he tried calling you, but like,
I didn't hear it. Yeah, let me call him back. Thank you. I never heard my phone buzz, and it's not on D&D, so I don't know why it's not buzzing. Hi, baby. What's up? What's up? What do you mean spam things? Yeah? And it won't let you click off? Okay, give me a second. I'm going to come up, okay? All right, I'll be right there. Bye. All right, guys, I will be right back. Get yourself a drink, get yourself some food, enjoy something. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to go help my husband, so I will be right back. Down, stay. Stay. Why you gotta cause trouble, huh? Down. Hi, Mama. What you doing, Harley? Oh, shoot broke with Mama. There you go. Now you're playing tug of war. Tug of war. I am back! And again, I forget to introduce myself. I am Lady Rain. Welcome to my chat of craziness. I don't edit. I don't take anything out. My mess ups when I'm reading, when I'm reading, it's just me. I'm not going to hide how I am. I'm not going to hide, my craziness. I have 4 kids. I have 4 autistic kids. So I have my oldest daughter who lives on her own. She's actually living with her boyfriend. She has 2 beautiful kids. They are amazing little ones. Uh-oh. Hello? On Twitch? Look up Lady Rain 1974. Lady Rain 1974. LADYRAYNE 1974. Did you find it? RAYNE. Basically, all I did was take out Celine and Vlad and just make it Lady Rain. Nice, huh? Hi! Okay, yeah, I'm going to continue reading. You'll probably be confused at it, but yeah, it's me. Okay, bye. Ah, my hubby's watching. So let's see. She lives on her own. She lives with her boyfriend, has her beautiful kids. And then I have my oldest son who's back home. I made him come home temporarily to get things sorted in his own little life. And then I have my youngest son and my youngest daughter. My youngest daughter, she just likes to talk to me a lot. She doesn't like camera, so I don't even ask anybody. If they don't want to be on camera, I'm not putting them on camera. Famix is my oldest son. I have a couple of videos with him. My youngest son, however, is I don't want to listen to mom. So every now and then, we have our little things and we have our tips and whatnot. But yeah, I don't hide. Like, my dogs are right here in my face, then they're in my face. If I'm interrupting while reading, I'm interrupted while reading. It's just how it is. I don't make it to where, people see this perfect person and nothing's wrong. My life is not perfect. My life is chaotic. It is loud. It is stressful. Hi. Are we playing tug of here? Oh God, I thought she was going to try playing tug of war with Liam. Are you bringing it here? Baby, come here. Come on. Come on. This little booger here. I love her to death. She is my little angel. Yeah, right. Demonic angel. She's 14 months. She'll be 15 months this month. And as much as I want to keep her, if I could find somebody that would be willing to learn to be with her and what she's like and, realize that she's a singleton. So she has her own little attitude, and that's the whole barking in your face, licking your face, barking in your face, like getting used to you. And she really needs a farm or a big fielded area she can run. But for now, she has the backyard fence, and it helps. We cut their nails yesterday, and we cut 4 nails, 1 on each paw for Phoebe, and 3 nails for Harley. It really didn't need her nails cut because they dig so much and stuff. Are you done? Can I read now? Maybe. What are you doing? Are you gonna let me read? Oh, you found that toy. But Daddy watched stuff for you. Can I have it? I can't play tug of war. I can't play tug of war. Oh my lord. Really? Give me. Give me. Oh my lord. Give me. Tear my arm. Okay, ready? Ready? Oh! Come here. You watched. Ready? Throw. There you go. It's over there. What are you looking for? I threw it. What are you looking for? I threw it. A goof. Good lordy. Are you done? Can I read now? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Give me. Can I? Ah. Help. Oh my god. Mine. Baby. Baby. Do 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 do. Boop. Oh, smart. All right. Where were we at? Oh, we are on 045 and counting. Hey, give me. Okay. Minus 045 and counting. And let's see. He got into the car. Let's see. He ripped the passenger door open and was in even as the car was accelerating again. He was picked up and thrown sideways, one hand holding desperately onto the door jamb, his good foot dragging. The thumping hiss of brakes, the air car swerving wildly. What? Who? You can't! Richard pointed the gun at her, knowing he must look grotesque close up, like a man who had been run through a meat grinder. The fierce image would work for him. He dragged his foot in and slammed the door, gun never swerving. She was dressed for town. Get out of my can. Hey! No. No. Down. Down. That's my can. There's nothing in there but papers. You don't need. Oh, and the fur from the vacuum. You don't need what's in there. Good Lord. Oh. She's like a toddler. I'm telling you. It's like the terrible twos. Except for you're a teenager. Good gracious. Dogs grow so fast. I mean, can you imagine if humans grew that fast? 2 years adult. Boom. He dragged his foot in and slammed the door, gun never swerving. She was dressed for town and wore blue wraparound sunglasses. Good looking from what he could see. Wheel it, Richard said. She did the predictable, slammed both feet on the brake and screamed. Richards was thrown forward, his bad ankle scraping excruciatingly. Now try to get it. Get down, excruciatingly. The air car juddered to a stop on the shoulder, 50 feet beyond the intersection. Come on. Hey, get out, good girl. You don't need up on the table. There's nothing here for you. Go get your toy. You're Ben Richards. Take your hands off the wheel, put them on your lap, in your lap. She did it, shuddering convulsively. She did not look at him, afraid Richard supposed that she would be turned to stone. What's your name, ma'am? Amelia Williams. Don't shoot me. Don't kill me. You can have my money, only for God's sake, don't kill me. Shh, Richard said soothingly. Shh. When she had quieted a little bit, he said, I won't try to change your mind about me, Mrs. Williams. It is Mrs.? Yes, she said automatically. But I have no intention of harming you. Do you understand that? Yes, she said, suddenly eager. You want the car? They got your friend and now you need a car? You can take it. It's insured. I won't even tell. I swear I won't. I'll say someone stole it in the parking lot. Why are you putting her out? Oh, okay. She's always causing mischief. We'll talk about it, Richard said. Begin to drive. Go up Route 1 and we'll talk about it. Are there roadblocks? No, yes, hundreds of them. They'll catch you. Don't lie, Mrs. Williams, okay? She began to drive erratically at first, then more smoothly. The motion seemed to soothe her. Yeah, she wanted to play, and she wouldn't stay out of my garbage can. That was part of the problem. Dad could see because he's watching. The motion seemed to soothe her. Richards repeated his question about roadblocks. Around Lewiston, she said with frightful unhappiness. That's where they got the other fellow. How far is that? 30 miles or more? Pericus had gotten further than Richards would have dreamed. Will you rape me? Amelia Williams asked so suddenly that Richards almost barked with laughter. No, he said. Then matter-of-factly, I'm married. I saw her, she said with a kind, smirking dreadfulness that made Richards want to smash her. Eat garbage, bitch. Kill a rat that was hiding in the bread box, kill it with a whisk broom, and then see how you talk about my wife. Can I get off here? She asked pleadingly, and he felt a trifle sorry for her again. No, he said. You're my protection, Mrs. Williams. I have to get to Voigt Field in a place called Derry. You're going to see that I get there. That's 150 miles, she wailed. Someone else told me 100. Well, they were wrong. You'll never get through to there. I might, Richard said, and then looked at her. And so might you, if you play it right. She began to tremble again, but said nothing. Her attitude was that of a woman waiting to wake up. Minus 044 and counting. They traveled north through autumn burning like a torch. The trees were not dead this far north, murdered by the big poisonous smokes of Portland, Manchester, and Boston. They were all hues of yellow, red, brilliant starburst purple. They awoke in Richards an aching feeling of melancholy. It was a feeling he never would have suspected his emotions could have harbored only 2 weeks before. In another month, the snow would fly and cover all of it. Things ended in fall. She seemed to sense his mood and said nothing. The drive filled the silence between them, lulled them. They passed over the water at Yarmouth. Then there were only woods and trailers and miserable poverty shacks with outhouses tacked on the sides. Yeah, yet one could always spot the freebie cable attachment bolted on below a sagging, paintless windowsill or beside a hinge-smashed door, winking and heligraphing in the sun until they entered Freeport. Oh, that's funny. The other book had Freeport, too. There were 3 police cruisers parked just outside town, the cops meeting in a kind of roadside conference. The woman stiffened like a wire, her face desperately pale. Desperately pale. But Richards felt calm. They passed the police without notice, and she slumped. If they had been monitoring traffic, they would have been honest like a shot, Richards said casually. You might as well paint Ben Richards is in this car on your forehead in day glow. Why can't you let me go? She burst out. And in the same breath, have you got a J? Rich folks blow dokes. The thought brought a bubble of ironic laughter, and he shook his head. You're laughing at me? She asked, stung. You've got some nerve, don't you? You cowardly little murderer, scaring me half out of my life, probably planning to kill me the way you killed that poor boys in Boston. There was a full gross of those poor boys, Richard said, ready to kill me. That's their job. Killing for pay, ready to do anything for money, wanting to overturn a country. Why don't you find decent work because you're too lazy? You kind spit in the face at anything decent. Are you decent? Richards asked. Yes, she stormed. Isn't that why you picked on me? Because I was defenseless and decent. I was defenseless and decent. So you could use me, drag me down to your level, and then laugh about it? If you're so decent, how come you have $600 new to buy this fancy car while my little girl dies of the flu? What? She looked startled. Her mouth started to open, and she closed it with a snap. You're an enemy of the network, she said. It says so on the freebie. I saw some of the disgusting things you did. You know what's disgusting? Richards asked, lighting a cigarette from the pack on the dashboard. I'll tell you. It's disgusting to get blackballed because you don't want to work in a General Atomics job that's going to make you sterile. It's disgusting to sit home and watch your wife earning the grocery money on her back. It's disgusting to know that the network is killing millions of people each year with air pollution when they could be manufacturing nose filters for $6 a throw. You lie, she said. Her knuckles had gone white on the wheel. When this is over, Richard said, you can go back to your nice split-level duplex and light up a doke and get stoned and love the way your new silverware sparkles in the highboy. No one fighting rats with broom handles in your neighborhood or shitting by the back stoop because the toilet doesn't work. I met a little girl 5 years old with lung cancer. How's that for disgusting? Stop, she screamed at him. You talk dirty. That's right, he said, watching as the countryside flew by. Hopelessness filled him with like cold water. There was no base of communication with these beautiful chosen ones. They existed up where the air was rare. He had a sudden raging urge to make this woman pull over, knock her sunglasses onto the gravel, drag her through the dirt, make her eat a stone, rape her, jump on her, knock her teeth into the air like startled digits, strip her nude, and ask her if she was beginning to see the big picture. The one that runs 24 hours a day on Channel 1, where the national anthem never plays before the sign-off. That's right, he muttered. Dirty talking old me. Yeah, I got time for another one. Minus 043 and counting. They got further than they had any right to, Richard figured. They got all the way to a pretty town by the sea called Camden, over 100 miles from where he had hitched a ride with Amelia Williams. Listen, he said as they were entering Augusta, the state capital. There's a good chance they'll sniff us here. I have no interest in killing you. Dig it? Yes, she said. Then with a bright hate, you need a hostage. Right? So if a cop pulls out behind us, you pull over immediately. You open your door and lean out. Just lean. Your fanny is not to leave the seat. Understand? Yes. You holler, Benjamin Richards is holding me hostage. If you don't give him free passage, he'll kill me. And you think that will work? It better, he said with tense mockery. It's your ass. She bit her lip and said nothing. It'll work, I think. There will be a dozen freelance cameramen around in no time, hoping to get some games money or even a Zapper under award itself. With the kind of publicity, they'll have to pay it straight. Sorry you won't get to see us go out in a hail of bullets so they can talk about you sanctimoniously as Ben Richards' last victim. Why do you say these things? She burst out. He didn't reply, only slid down in his seat until just the top of his head showed and waited for the blue lights in the rearview mirror. But there were no blue lights in Augusta. They continued on for another hour and a half, skirting the ocean as the sun began to wester, catching little glints and peaks of water across fields and beyond bridges and through heavy firs. It was past 2:00 when they rounded the bend not far from the Camden town line, and saw a roadblock. 2 police cars parked on either side of the road. 2 cops... I gotta rest my back a little bit. 2 cops were checking a farmer in an old pickup and waved it through. Go another 200 feet and then stop, Richard said. Do it just the way I told you. She was pallid, but seemingly in control. Resigned, maybe. She applied the brakes evenly, and the air car came to a neat stop in the middle of the road, 50 feet from the checkpoint. The trooper, holding the clipboard, waved her forward imperiously. When she did come, he glanced inquiringly at his companion. Wow, it's a her. Yeah, a lot of these have not been edited. They were written, this book here was actually written before Richard Bauchman died, but they didn't find it until years later after he had died. And so his wife went ahead and got it published with very little editing, so that the way that he wrote it is the way that it stayed. So he died in 1985. So you're looking at the 1990s, almost 2000s before it was found. So, yeah, it's got a little bit of mess ups. He glanced inquiringly at her companion. A third cop. Oh no, I see. When she didn't come, he glanced inquiringly at his companion. So it wasn't him looking at her and who she had with her. It was him looking at the other cop. A third cop, who had been sitting inside one of the cruisers with his feet up, suddenly grabbed the hand mic under the dash and began to speak rapidly. Here we go, Richards thought. Oh God, here we go. Minus 042 and counting. The day was very bright. The constant rain of Harding seemed light years away, and everything was very sharp and clearly defined. The troopers' shadows might have been drawn with black crayolas. They were unhooking the narrow straps that crossed their gun belts. Mrs. Williams swung open the door and leaned out. Don't shoot, please, she said. For the first time, Richards realized how cultured her voice was, how rich. She might have been in a drawing room except for the pallid knuckles and the fluttering, bird-like pulse in her throat. With the door open, he could smell the fresh, invigorating odor of pine and timothy grass. Come out of the car with your hands over your head, the cop said. The cop with the clipboard said. He sounded like a well-programmed machine. General Atomics, Model 6924-A9, Richards thought. The Hicksville Trooper, 16 PSM, iridium batteries included. Comes in white only. You and your passenger, man. We see him. My name is Amelia Williams, she said clearly. I can't get out as you ask. Ben Richards is holding me hostage. If you don't give him free passage, he says he'll kill me. The two cops looked at each other, and something barely perceptible passed between them. Richards, with his nerves strung up on a point where he seemed to be operating with a seventh sense, caught it. Drive, he screamed. She stared at him, bewildered. But they won't. The clipboard clattered to the road, and the two cops fell into the kneeling position almost simultaneously, guns out. Gripped in right hands, left hands holding right wrists, one on each side of the solid white line. The sheets of flimsy on the clipboard fluttered errantly. Richards tromped his bad foot on Amelia Williams' right shoe, his lips drawing back in a tragedy mask of pain as the broken angle grated. The air car ripped forward. The next moment, two hollow punching noises struck the car, making it vibrate. A moment later, the windshield blew in, splattering them both with bits of safety glass. She threw both hands up to protect her face, and Richards leaned savagely against her, swinging the wheel. They shot through the gate between the veered cars with scarcely a flirt of the rear deck. He caught a crazy glimpse of the troopers whirling to fire again, and his whole attention was on the road. They mounted a rise, and then there was more hollow thunk as a bullet smashed a hole in the trunk. The car began to fishtail, and Richards hung on, whipping the wheel in diminishing arcs. He realized dimly that Williams was screaming. Steer, he shouted at her. Steer, goddammit, steer, steer! Her hands groped reflexively at the wheel and found it. He let go and batted the dark glasses away from her eyes with an open-handed blow. They hung on one ear for a moment and then dropped off. Pull over. They shot at us, her voice began to rise. They shot at us. Pull over. The screams of sirens rose behind them. She pulled over clumsily, sending the car around in a shuttered half-turn that spumed gravel into the air. Oh, spurned. Is that an M or an RN? I can't tell by the way that looks. I'm going to say spurned, because that makes more sense. I told them, and they tried to kill us, she said wonderingly. They tried to kill us! But he was out and hopping clumsily back the way they had come, gun out. He lost his balance and fell heavily, scraping both knees. When the first cruiser came over the rise, he was in a sitting position on a shoulder of the road, the pistol held firmly in his at shoulder level. The car was doing 80 easily, and still accelerating. Some back road cowboy was at the wheel, with too much engine up front and visions of glory in his eyes. They perhaps saw him, perhaps tried to stop. It didn't matter. There was no bulletproof tires on these. They were the one closest to Richard's exploded as if there had been dynamite inside. The cruiser took off like a badass bird, gunning across the shoulder in a howling, uncontrolled flight. It crashed into into the hole of a huge elm. That elm had to be huge to fit a car. That's a big tree. The driver's side door flew off. The driver rammed through the windshield like a torpedo and flew 30 yards before crashing into the pucker bush. Ooh, I don't like those things. Those are those round things that have the little spike. Yeah, I don't like those. The second car came almost as fast, and it took Richard 4 shots to find a tire. 2 slugs splattered sand next to his spot. This one slid around like in a smoking half turn and rolled 3 times, spraying glass and metal. Richard struggled to his feet, looked down, and saw his shirt darken slowly just above the belt. He hopped back toward the car, and then dropped on his face as the second cruiser exploded, spewing shrapnel above and around him. Sorry, I heard something outside and it threw my concentration. He got up, panting and making strange whimpering noises in his mouth. His side had begun to throb in slow, aching circles. She could have gotten away, perhaps, but she made no effort. She was staring, transfixed, at the burning police car in the road. When Richards got in, she shrank from him. "You killed them! You killed those men! They tried to kill me." "You too. Drive fast." "They did not try to kill me. Drive!" She drove, the mask of the well-to-do young Hausfrau, on her way back from the market, now hung in tatters and shreds. Beneath it was something from a cave, something with twitching lips and rolling eyes. Perhaps it had been there all along. They drove about 5 miles and came to a roadside store and air station. "Pull in," Richard said. Oh, I did pick up a page. There we go. Minus 041 and counting. Yep, I got time. This is going to be our last one for today. And then I have an appointment. I got 2 appointments, actually. I've got one I'm going to jump at, and the other one is an actual scheduled. And so then I will be back after that. And maybe I'll do some more reading. Because these long ones, they kind of give me like more time to read more. And like I said, my house is crazy. That's our dog. That's my dog barking out back. She became my pup. I don't know how she did it, but she's kind of everybody's dog, but she became mine. Yeah. We're going to read this one, and then we are going to stop for now. So let's see what happens. Minus 041 and counting. "Harley, that's enough. Get out." "No." He jammed the gun against her right breast, and she whimpered, "Please don't. I'm sorry, but there's no more time for you to play prima donna. Get out." She got out, and he slid after her. "Let me lean on you." He slung an arm around her shoulders and pointed with the gun at the telephone booth beside the ice dispenser. They began shuffling toward it, a grotesque 2-man vaudeville team. Richards hopped on his good foot. He felt tired. In his mind, he saw cars crashing, the body flying like a torpedo, the leaping explosion. These scenes played over and over again, like the continuous loop of tape. The store's proprietor, an old pal with white hair and scrawny legs hidden by a dirty butcher's apron, came out and stared at them with worried eyes. "Hey," he said mildly, "I don't want you here. I got a family. Go down the road, please. I don't want no trouble." "Harley! Harley!" I think the front door's open. Let me double check. If it's not open, we're good. Are you barking out the window? Yeah, the door's closed. Okay. So it's not open. The door is closed. So we're gonna let her bark. She barks at anything. They bark at leaves. Hey, go down the road, please. I don't want any trouble. Don't want no trouble. Go inside, Pop, Richard said. The man went. Richard slid loosely into the booth, breathing through his nose. Breathing through his mouth. Hey, I'm trying to read. You're being rude. Rude. And fumbled 50 cents into the coin horn. Holding the gun and receiver in one hand, he punched 0. What exchange is this, operator? Rockland, sir. Put me through to local newsy hookup, please. You may dial that, sir. The number is... You dial it. Do you wish... Just dial it. Yes, sir, she said. Unruffled, there were clicks and pops in Richard's ear. Blood had darkened his shirt to a dirty purple color. He looked away from it. It made him feel ill. Rockland Newsy, a voice said in Richard's ear. Freevee tabloid number 6943. This is Ben Richards. There was a long silence, then, look, maggot, I like a joke as well as the next guy, but this has been a long, hard... Shut up. You're going to get confirmation of this in 10 minutes at the outside. You can get it now if you've got a police band radio. Just a second. There was a clunk of a dropping phone on the... Excuse me! On the other end, and a faint wailing sound. When the phone was picked up, the voice was hard and businesslike, with an undercurrent of excitement. Where are you, fella? Half the cops in eastern Maine just went through Rockland. At about 110. Richards craned his neck at the sign over the store. A place called Gilly's Town Line Store and Air Shop in US 1. You know it? Yeah, just listen to me, maggot. I didn't call to give you my life story. Get some photogs out here, quick. And get this on the air. Red newsbreak top. I've got a hostage. Her name is Amelia Williams from... He looked at her. Falmouth, she said miserably. From Falmouth, safe conduct or I'll kill her. Jesus, I smell a Pulitzer Prize. That's funny. No, you just shit your pants, that's all, Richard said. He felt lightheaded. You get the word out. I want the state pigs to find out everything. Everyone knows I'm not alone. I want the state pigs to find out everyone knows. Oh, okay. Everyone knows I'm not alone. 3 of them at the Rockland tried to blow us up. What happened to the cops? I killed them. All 3? Hot damn! The voice pulled away from the phone, yelled distantly, Dickie, open the national cable! I'm going to kill her if they shoot, Richard said, simultaneously trying to inject sincerity into his voice and to remember all the old gangster movies he had seen on TV as a kid. If they want to save the girl, they better let me through. When Richards hung up and hopped clumsily out of the booth. Help me. She put an arm around him, grimacing at the blood. See what you're getting yourself into? Yes. This is madness. You're going to be killed. Drive north, he mumbled. Just drive north. He slid into the car, breathing hard. The world insisted on going in and out. High atonal music jangled in his ears. She pulled out and onto the road. His blood had smeared on her smart green and black striped blouse. The old man, Gilly, cracked the screen door open and poked out a very old Polaroid camera. He flickered the shutter, pulled the tape, and waited. His face was painted in horror and excitement and delight. In the distance, rising and converging sirens. So, we are going on to 040 when I start up next. And and he's being chased by cops. Again. Hi. You want to tell me what you're barking at? What are you barking at? I gotta get going. You sure do. Why are you licking my arm? Are you anxious? Why are you anxious? You want to go outside? Well, I don't know. You're just sitting here. What do you want? She doesn't jump, like, ever. I try to get her to jump, but, I mean, she used to, but she don't jump anymore. Just one day, she stopped jumping. Huh. You used to come up and jump right here. Boop, 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 boop. You be a good girl. This is Harley. This is my hubby's dog. You're a big girl, huh? All right, we are going to stop there. I have a meeting I have to go to, so I am going to let y'all go. Why did he send me a video? My son sent me a video. He sends me long links, lots of videos, lots of pictures. Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. Oh, he's so excited. Power Rangers coming out. I don't know if it's next month or October. I heard something. But yeah. So he's like really excited. Anyway, we're going to stop for now, but I will be back. I think I might just get back on later and read some more because I'm really like wanting to know what happens. I'm like, I've been reading this book for a while, but there's 4 books in it. So this one we haven't been reading that long, but it's been a couple weeks since we've been reading it. And yeah, it's just, wow. It's a lot. It's fun and it's exciting. I kind of like this. I wish they'd have done this for the movie, like actually, put this book here into the movie. That would have been awesome. So anyway, I'm going to let y'all go. I got to get ready to go. So y'all have a blessed day and see you later. Bye.